The 10 safest countries to survive a nuclear war. The Russian government recently reinstated President Vladimir Putin's nuclear threat to the West, prompting fears that the Ukraine crisis could escalate into nuclear war. According to sources, a key ally of the Russian president has boasted that the West would not intervene even if Russia used nuclear weapons in Ukraine, meaning political leaders across the sea and in Europe would perish in the event of a nuclear apocalypse. I argued that it was because there wasn't. Let's examine the countries that survived a nuclear war. Safest country, a country that survived a nuclear war. A study published a month ago found that Argentina and Australia are the most likely to have at least part of their civilizations survive in the first decade after a nuclear war. Below is a list of countries that will survive a nuclear war, compiled by experienced survivor Alex Leyva. 10. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is an island nation located in the Indian Ocean, southeast of India. The country has a rich culture, unique environment, and 2,000 years of history. Sri Lanka's beaches, wildlife, and ruins fascinate tourists. Why is Sri Lanka safe? The island nation is far from its nuclear goals. Sri Lanka's population of just over 20 million and inadequate infrastructure make it difficult for attackers to cause significant damage. 9. Nepal. Nepal is one of the safest countries in Asia. This is amazing considering it sits between India and China. Like South and North Korea, Nepal's neighbors would not want to drop bombs on their doorsteps. Nepal's highest mountains can protect you from natural radiation. Although it is a landlocked country, it is located in a remote area like an island nation. 8. Fiji. Many people consider Fiji to be a paradise on Earth. Fiji is a beautiful paradise island with sparkling blue waters, pristine beaches, and lush tropical forests. While this is true, many overlook the fact that Fiji is one of the safest countries in the event of a nuclear war. In other words, it is completely cut off from the rest of the Earth. The island nation of Fiji is isolated from the rest of the Pacific Ocean. Due to its remote location, a nuclear attack on the region is unlikely. 7. Greenland. Greenland is the largest island between Canada and Iceland in the Arctic Ocean. Danish Greenland has 57,000 inhabitants. Greenland's Inuit are rich in language and culture despite their small population. Most nuclear missiles cannot reach Greenland. If another country were to launch a missile into Greenland, the ice sheet would cover most of the island and limit the damage. 6. Sweden. Sweden is considered calm. It has the third lowest murder rate in the world. Sweden is not only safe, she is one of the safest countries on our list. Sweden's neutrality and non-alignment means that it will not take sides in international crises or participate in military alliances. This would reduce the risk of nuclear war in Sweden. 5. Norway. Norway is one of Europe's opponents of nuclear war. The World Peace Index ranks Norway 14th as the most peaceful country in 2021. Norway is safe from nuclear war for several reasons. First, Norway has a small population. Even if Norwegian soil were to be hit with a nuke, fewer people would be harmed. Second, Norway is fairly isolated from other countries. Norwegian isolation reduces the likelihood of regional conflicts that could escalate into nuclear war. 4. New Zealand. New Zealand is often thought of as a quiet and lovely country. Did you know that a recent study ranked the countries best suited to survive a nuclear war? A study from the University of Southampton published in Nature Communications found which countries we investigated whether we could survive from New Zealand was sparsely populated, far from nuclear targets, and lacking military infrastructure, so it was doing well. 3. Australia. Australia is a leading contender for nuclear warfare safety. The fact that Australia's vast, barren continent has few major population centers explains why. A nuclear attack on Australia would be difficult, and its small population would limit casualties. Australia's military ties with the United States would protect Australia in the event of a nuclear conflict. No one would invade Australia if they knew the US had a huge nuclear arsenal. 2. Canada. Canada ranks high in nuclear war survivability. NORAD is a major military partnership between Canada and the United States. They even organize military exercises. If a nuclear bomb were to fall on one country, the other country would probably help too. Canada is a large country with a dispersed population. This reduces the risk of a nuclear attack that would destroy a nation. If attacked, many parts of Canada would become rural and sparsely populated, reducing the death toll. 1. Iceland. Iceland is an island nation in the North Atlantic Ocean. With a population of about 300,000, she covers an area of 103,000 square kilometers. Iceland is one of the safest nuclear war zones due to its remote location and lack of military or geothermal energy. The North Atlantic is isolated, so no nuclear missile can reach Iceland unnoticed. Due to Iceland's limited population and size, damage from nuclear missiles would be limited. Let us know in the comment section if you know of any other safer place that we have not mentioned. Other countries have survived nuclear war because of their remoteness or because of their political stability and ability to rebuild. Wherever you go, always watch out for signs of disaster and evacuate to an air raid shelter immediately.